Yet Trump seems to be, well, downplaying it, saying the dollar will surge eventually, tariffs are just for negotiation.
Well, there's often a gap between the rhetoric and the likely impact, isn't there? The standard economic view is that importers pay the tariff first.
And then pass it on to consumers.
Usually, yeah. Not the foreign exporter, as is often claimed.
And that University of Michigan data ALVs included consumer confidence dropping, even among Republicans, Trump voters.
Down to 50.8, lowest since March, apparently.
That suggests the pain might be starting to bite, even for his supporters. Maybe the promised benefits aren't showing up, or rising prices are just hitting harder.
Could be. It's a significant data point for sure.
And China's reaction, pretty forceful language, unilateral bullying, coercive behavior.
Yeah, from their Ministry of Finance. And they said this is the last direct tariff retaliation, but hinted other responses are possible.
Right. Liu Peiyu saying China won't yield to maximum pressure, demanding Washington drop its destructive behavior for real talks.
It shows just how deep the friction is. China sounds like it's digging in for the long haul.
Meanwhile, the White House view, via Caroline Leavitt, is basically, hit us, we hit back harder. And warning China they'll hurt themselves most.
It feels very tit for tat, doesn't it? Just keeps escalating things, makes finding a way out even harder. Both sides seem pretty convinced they can tough it out.
And Alves mentioned those rumors. China may be selling off U.S. Treasury bonds.
Yeah, that's a potentially big deal. China holds a lot of U.S. debt.
So if they started selling big time,
It could push up U.S. borrowing costs, maybe hurt the dollar. The fact that Treasury Secretary Besson is reportedly monitoring it tells you it's being taken seriously.
then there's this idea of tarifflation, tariffs actually causing inflation.
Right. ALS connects the March rise in the Producer Price Index for industrial metals directly to the existing steel and aluminum tariffs.
And that analysis from Bill Adams at Comerica Bank.
Yeah, he basically says tariffs act like a tax, pushing up costs for businesses using imports, which then likely leads to higher consumer prices, almost regardless of demand.
So it's not just about trade balances, it directly feeds into inflation potentially.
That's the argument, and it seems plausible.
But despite all this friction, Trump is still talking about a possible deal, even saying positive things about Xi Jinping.
It's interesting, isn't it? Maybe it's just keeping the door cracked open, a negotiating tactic.
Could be. But then you have Xi telling the Spanish PM that China and the EU should oppose unilateral acts of intimidation.
Which sounds a lot like a reference to the U.S., doesn't it? Suggests maybe an international alignment against U.S. trade policy is forming.
Okay, one last major topic.